What the hell is this title, you weirdo?
It's not as weird as you think.
It looks pretty weird to me.
Okay, maybe it is. I can explain. Sit down, my dudes. It's story time. To say that 2016 was a tough year for me is a bit of an understatement. Let me just consult my handy checklist that I just happen to have on me. Let's see here. Stuck in an unhealthy long-term relationship? Check. Living in a dodgy and stress-inducing area of London? Check. Anxious to go out in general because of self-loathing and depression? Check. Generally questioning if I'll ever be happy again? Check. Wow, off to a great start. Little spoiler alert, I survived and I'm doing fine now, thank you for asking. A particularly impactful reason that I got through that horrific year was because of a series of games that essentially saved my life from completely spiraling out of control. And that game series was the Mass Effect Trilogy. If you haven't heard of Mass Effect before, what? Have you been living under a rock? It's iconic. Don't worry, I'm not going to nerd out on you and drown you in the fascinating lore of the series, but here's a quick overview. It's an emotionally charged space opera developed by the famous studio BioWare. I'm sure you've heard of them before. Yeah, they ain't doing so hot right now. Yeah, thanks EA. You play a soldier named Commander Shepard, and they can be male or female. It's your choice. But the voice acting for FemShep in particular, so good. And your mission is to save the galaxy from gigantic mechanical beings who were designed to wipe out all of developed life capable of space travel every 50,000 years or so. Whoa, it's a pretty engaging plot right there. And whilst the plot is thoroughly engaging, it's more the narrative, the world building, decision-based outcomes, and genuine connections with other characters that make this game so special. But why is it special to me in particular? And how did it save me from my horrifically low self-esteem? That's why you're here, right? Mass Effect 2 actually sat on my shelf for about 6 years. Why? Long story short, I watched my first long-term boyfriend play it through in 2010, and I couldn't really touch it again after that, because of memories. Anyway, jump forward to 2016, here's the situation I was in. I was living in a 2-bed flat in a developing, wealthy investor talk for scummy, area of South London that gets its streets regularly closed off because of the crime, with my boyfriend of almost 2 years and another couple who are also our friends. Pair that with the fact that the guy I was with had been flirting with other girls, and I found out via an essay of an email from a lady who had been talking with him for, a good few weeks on Tinder, but I was stuck because I couldn't afford to move out. And then we arrive at my next issue. I had an eating disorder, and I didn't start eating properly until my early 20s, so then my body had to catch up, and it was suddenly like, oh, we have enough calories to make spots now, cool, let's do that. This horrible acne appeared, and I struggled to cover it up with any makeup because it was just so sore, to the point where I was starting to turn down jobs because I just felt so insecure. And it came out in full force when I was stressed. Your boyfriend kind of emotionally cheating on you. It's a pretty big cause of stress, believe it or not. I was always worried that people would think, ooh, has she got something contagious? So that was on my mind and kind of stopped me from going out and enjoying my life. Fun. So I was stuck in this flat on my own for most of the day, thinking, what can I do with my life? This can be referred to as escapism. And most people actually engage in this practically every day at varying levels, whether by getting lost in a fiction novel, playing games, or watching a film, or even listening to music. It helps relieve the feelings of fear or sadness or even just the mundane aspects of everyday life. I'm sure you can agree that your commute to work or school is made infinitely better by some sick jams. So a big aspect of Mass Effect is the romanceable side. Yes, you can get into a relationship with aliens. Fun times. But there's this one particular character called Garrus, and you may have noticed him because he's on my pillow. Yeah, I like Garrus. It was nice. It was kind of like a stable, special relationship that I just didn't have in my life at the time. And I didn't feel personally in love with Garrus, but as Shepard, I did. So when I was in Shepard mode playing the game, I genuinely felt connected. It's really weird to explain. So I go back to Mass Effect 1, and to my surprise, you can't engage in a relationship with Garrus. Even the BioWare team admitted that they left it out because they weren't sure if players would be romantically interested in a scaly Birdman. Except for this weirdo. But you do develop this strong friendship along with all the other crew members. And it was truly fascinating to expand on the relationships I had with the other characters in the second game, seeing them from their roots. So I complete Mass Effect 1, move on to 2 again. I'd like to add with some big story changes because of the way I played through Mass Effect 1. Also, on my first playthrough of Mass Effect 2, I forgot to do some important upgrades, so in the final mission, almost half of my crew just died. Well, I sure as heck made sure that that wouldn't happen again. I can't handle the loss right now, BioWare. And then I was ready to push on to Mass Effect 3, the final game. And it was amazing. As soon as I started playing the game, I was hooked. And it was like whenever I'd come away from the game, I'd be just going out and doing mundane things like shopping or picking up vegetables or cooking and thinking, yeah, but the galaxy's in danger and I need to save everyone and I need to figure out what's going on. And some time passed and I took another job doing some animation in Westminster, and I was continuing to listen to the soundtrack, and it would get me so pumped that I was inspired to start running home rather than getting a bus. Reflecting on it, do not recommend running through London in the dark. I'm genuinely surprised that all I suffered from was catcalls. But it also inspired me to start training in the gym again. It was really a positive influence in my life in that I felt like I was prepping for war in a way, and I was becoming Shepard and becoming this confident person. I was emotionally stepping into somebody else's shoes. It really gave me purpose at a time in my life where I had no direction. You know, I was worried that my boyfriend would cheat on me again. And at a time where I needed all the self-love and confidence that I could get, it really made a miraculous change to me. And it's not only about Garrus as a character you can have a romance with. It's about all the cast going through from the first game to the end game with you and this bond that you form, and you genuinely cared about them, and it felt like they genuinely cared about you, even though it was all pre-programmed based on selections you'd made. It felt like it was real to me, and it was special. My crew needed me to be strong. Approaching the end game in Mass Effect 3, before you do this final mission, you get to talk with all of your comrades and kind of pep talk them and in a way say your final goodbyes in case something goes wrong. So you have this final conversation with your romance character, and I've never felt so engrossed in a game. I was hanging on to every word Garrus said, and I was just bawling my eyes out thinking, I'm never gonna see Garrus again. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're gonna be okay. And the same with all the other crew members, and just they're sharing all the memories that you had fought throughout the game. I didn't want this to be goodbye. Part of me wanted to stop playing the game right then and there, where all of our crew are together, safe for now. But I knew I needed to press on, that danger can lurk in the future, but it shouldn't stop you from moving on with your life. And it's just, it's so powerful. And no other game has made me feel like that. And after I finally finished the game, no matter how much people complain about the ending of Mass Effect 3, I had this sense of completion in my life. I felt like I'd become a stronger person thanks to Shepard and thanks to the crew, thanks to BioWare. I look back on it and it's, in simple terms, it's probably just a coping mechanism for all the crappiness that was going on around me. But hey, I came out the other end a better person. It inspired me to stand up to my ex, who also at the time said that making YouTube videos was dumb. So at the end of 2016, our tenancy was up. I took the opportunity to say, I can't live with you. I'm going back to Wales with my parents. And I got the hell out of that relationship. And I have Mass Effect to thank for it. Sometimes it takes a push like this to make you believe that you are the hero in your own story, and that you have the strength to make changes and turn away those that hurt you or are toxic to you. Oh yeah, and then after I broke up with him, I released my first video, which was why I was a weird kid. And I wouldn't be here today making videos on YouTube if I hadn't taken that leap. And I'm just glad that we have games like this that can really help us through the challenges that face us every day. These stories really do change lives. So thank you, BioWare, for saving my life. And thank you, Garrus, for being so freaking cute. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video. If you're wondering why it was delayed, it was because of this guy. This is Kepler. He's a Pomsky, and I love him with all of my soul. Also, I had some industry work that I couldn't turn down, so there was that. I'm just here to tell you that I'm a feature creator at Vidcon London this coming February. I know I look like crap right now, and I'm sorry about that. But you know, when you're a dog dad, you gotta make some sacrifices, and if any of you question me being a dog dad, you don't know whether I've got a PP down here. But yeah, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you to Mars for like last minute blasting out these lines that he recorded in a box, as you can see. And that's about it. I'll see you for the next video. I'll probably make a video on this guy because having your own puppy is life-changing. Okay, bye!